Peter Obi is the smartest politician out of Nigeria, the greatest leader of our time. He pulled off the insanely unthinkable. Amid great odds, the Dothraki passed through fire and came out unburnt. He did what Buhari could not do until the unholy alliance in 2015. Tinubu and Atiku won't dare tread the path he trod. This is a man they said had no structure. 4 people tweeting in a room, they said. But it would have none of that type of arcade psychological game. The electoral siege engine and campaign machine had a plan for every scenario. In the absence of war chest, otherwise called campaign funding, our man turned himself into a mobile billboard. He campaigned in far-flung regions in Nigeria, places Atiku and Tinubu didn't dare to venture. Sometimes I wonder where he got his courage from. Nigeria is a scary place. Our man would transverse Anambra, Edo and Delta states simultaneously in one day, doing the Lord's work. Buhari was a regional leader, still is, until Tinubu came and wiped his tears. Kwankwaso is not even a regional candidate, at least not yet. Our credible but egotistic Konkosia captain is rather a state candidate. He has tried his luck and discovered that his Chatham House outburst was in fact the dissipating liver salt. Now he has been reduced to his actual size, a Kano president. Every shoe now knows their size. Let's track back a little. In the lead-up to PDP's primary, Peter Obi told the world he will contest under the PDP only if his former one-eyed party zoned their ticket to the south. That did not happen. That caveat was everything. So he resigned from the party before their primary. Before that, he had already consulted the delegates in all the 35 states, including the FCT. He left out Adamawa in deference to Atiku. An honest and respectable man Obi is. He was brought up by a highly respectable family. Our man continued to weigh his options. PDP's dollarized primary marked a new low. It added salt to injury. PDAPC reduced Nigeria to a semi-mafia, semi-cartel state. Power became a traded commodity for the highest bidder. What was Obi supposed to do? Stay and play second fiddle? The constellation Gemini, great mythology, involves 2 identical twins, Castor and Pollux, inseparable in looks and in actions. Castor is PDP, Pollux is APC. If you see one without the other, then it's bad luck. PDAPC are the mythology of bad luck, conjoined in deeds and in words. For the twins, time for honoring themselves will soon come to an end. For now, they must flex their tiny muscles until they can flex no more. Back to my story. Peter Obi's mind was made up. He would have to pursue his ambition in a less than desirable party, the Labour Party. He made an announcement to this effect and asked us to keep our faiths with him. And we all did. Suddenly, the crooks, the naysayers and the bigots began to wag their tongues. In their typical ununiformed place of righteous indignation, they wrote Peter Obi off. He has killed his political career. He is so unstable and takes irrational decisions, they said. But Peter Obi is always playing a long game. The chess maestro already plotted his moves. Bishop takes knight, check. He knew he was the underdog. He knew their old tricks and ways of campaigning was obsolete. He equally knew they would continue to grossly underplay his chances. He played all of that to his advantage. With an army of Obidient at his back, Peter Obi became extremely formidable. All their mind and psychological games amounted to zero. Their average think tanks became a house of confused heads. Up till this moment, they cannot intellectual their way out of the Peter Obi tsunami. Psychologists like us busted and deflated all their schemes and propaganda. You don't do battle with a philosopher king and win. No, you don't. Go back in history and you discover that philosophers played key roles in every turning point events. Back to my story. The moment he emerged from a completely demonetized LP primary, his fate was sealed. He would go on to become the biggest political force since 1979. He took Nigeria and the old foxes by storm. PDAPC are not prepared for his type of campaigns. They are not built for issue-based campaigns. They rely heavily on thuggery, bullying, money, harassment, and ego trips. The APC retains a washed-up SAN and some of the most notorious bigots as their spokespersons. They fail to realize that Nigeria is changing. Nigerians did not want to tolerate another 4 years in Egypt. Peter Obi took a party in obscurity and turned it into a powerful force to be respected. He brought back our long-lost voices and gave us hope as he understands it. He's enthroned a new pride in all of us. Nigerians are beginning to sing, Republic, Republic, Republic. Joy is here. Courage is here. Camaraderie like no other is here. What was dead is now alive. He raised the debate in Nigeria and is deepening our democracy. Now Nigerians want to know how the story will end. One thing is clear, Nigeria will never remain the same. Nigeria is changing. People who chose the Muslim ticket and told you it was for so-called competence and to win a rigged election. People who rented fake bishops and shopped for canon endorsement. Now they want you to believe that Peter Obi is the religious bigot. How does this even sound in their bigoted ears? Remi Tinubu is a pastor, Osinbajo is a pastor, Dayo Israel is also a pastor. So we have a triumvirate of pastors in the APC. Why did the church not fail to give them their seal of approval? What is wrong with their integrities? The church cannot denounce the politicians. Both complement each other. Muslim clerics always endorse the presidents of Nigeria. Sheikh Ibrahim Pantami was notorious for this in 2014 and 2015. Back then, he was the crying sheikh. Tinubu and Atiku got endorsements from Muslim clerics up north, but it wasn't scandalous or religious bigotry because Obi's head is the one they want on a pike. He dared the criminal establishment and challenged the status quo. Who does that? Nigeria is a deeply religious country. You cannot divorce religion from its politics. I hate to talk about religion because it's a raging fire in Nigeria. You have extremists hiding under religion. Peter Obi is big on trust. All the socio-cultural groups give him their seal of approval because he is trust personified. They saw a man they can trust. Among Tinubu, Atiku and Obi, who do you really trust? Be honest, who would you entrust with your hard-earned money or inheritance? These are the issues. It is why we chose him. Next up is in 2027. This is where his destiny will be forged. His eventual win will be a double victory for Nigerians, a sign of his obvious acceptability and love for democracy, civil liberties, and the sacrosanct libertas itself. This is not going to be easy, but it's very possible. As our fiduciary and serendipity, he is going to win his bet and become the undisputed master of Nigeria at Nigerians' request. The businessman who became a politician. The politician who was impeached and his mandate stolen. A story for Hollywood giant screen. Classic in many ways. One thing is sure, the youths now have PVC. The structure is us. Polling units exist on Twitter. In fact, PDAPC are the 4 people tweeting in a room. Nigeria is becoming. The once giant of Africa is breathing some once again. Once this is all sorted, Nigeria would have become a long-age fratricidal uprising where brothers came against sisters and mothers against fathers. In the end, Nigeria will be better for it. I am optimistic for the future. However, I know for sure it is not going to be easy. It is going to require hard work and strict strategies. But one thing is sure, it is highly possible. Peter Obi is coming. This is from Nefertiti.